It seems like every time I pick up the newspaper or I go to social media, I'm hearing about someone, normally a young person, normally a black person, normally a young person, that's been killed. The number of killings has gone up nationwide by 30% between 2019 and 2020. When we look at African Americans, well, we're 55.6% more likely to be a homicide victim. And there has been an increase in homicide rates related to 2019. When you look at the homicide rate for African Americans, for every 22.9 per 100,000 in 2019 to 30.7 in 2020. For all other Americans, the rate went from 3.2 to 3.8. Notice, in the African American community, from 2.9 to 3.7. It's not. I'm not finished yet. If you're between the age of 18 and 30, you're more likely, and you're black, to be a victim of homicide. Our response, after looking at best practices and lessons from around the country, is modeled after what we call a place-based community comprehensive approach that is built from the street up. It's place-based because it's built in the community from the street up. Learn about how we look at the major contributors to the level of violence and how we combine them together when you look at health, general health, public safety, and economic development, and how when we merge these all to come together, we create the solution to the problem. And that solution is about bringing together lenders, investors, businesses, residents, the government, institutions of higher learning, and other public and private sector entities along with others. So, if you are and you want to learn more about the meeting, please feel free to tap into us. But before we do that, let's hear from the person who is on the street to give their frustration about the census killing. This was recorded during a call in to the radio station. The individual here, she's the chair of the CAC and Economic Subcommittee. The CAC is the Community Advisory Committee as part of the CRA. Let's hear what she has to say. We ask the people to come up and show up. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing. We definitely need to get a handle on the violence in this city. I can't count the number of people that were murdered. And I want to say, I'm going to pause in the middle of that show because we've had a lot of violence and for the mothers, the families, the fathers, just everybody involved, the students, anybody that was impacted by these recent killings this week alone. We are saying prayers to your family. I know prayers doesn't change anything. There's really no words that can heal what you must be feeling. But as a community, we're with you. We're praying and we're believing God for a solution to the murders. I don't know what that is. That's not where I am. But I know prayer can definitely help to change some things as it relates to the wisdom needed to change that, as it relates to some solutions that's needed to change that. We're with you. We're praying for it because you never know who's next, how these murders, these senseless murders from teens, from babies could impact us. So I really want to see a solution. So he gave us some information. If you're interested in it, Allison, tell him his phone number and how to reach him for that October 31st online event to help mitigate the violence.
Great, thank you for doing this. The West Tampa CDC, 813-857-7657. Now, with all the violence going there are lots of other organizations. We just thank you because this will be a team, a group, a community effort to be able to address this, especially the teen gun violence. And so for all the organizations, if you are having events, please call in at 888-247-8712. We would love to make sure everyone understands and knows what you're doing because everyone has.
So what are some of the things that we're going to be using in order to make it? What are we using? What is our strategy? What do you get when you come to the meeting? Well, you want to learn about how we are able to connect private-public deals to create opportunities for residents to have an opportunity to improve their quality of life. Among the different things we'll be talking about is the Rome Yard Project, which talks about affordable housing among other things. And other affordable housing projects, we'll be talking about the possibility of hundreds of jobs that can be created through a partnership with the Florida Department of Transportation, as well as other strategies like the West Tampa Technology, Wealth Building, and Job Creation Center. Join us as we begin to hear from people from around the nation that's talking about what they're doing in their community. Now, you can also email us at westtampacdc@gmail.com. So the only thing I can end by saying is that we have to begin to look at the bottom-up approach to be inclusive and making sure everybody from the street to the community and beyond is part of the solution and not the community and beyond. But we have to make sure that it's coming from the street to the community to the larger community.